Here we go, guys. So next question, question 10. ABCD is a square with a side length of 4x. So I know that this length is 4x, but because it's a square, I know this length is 4x, this one, and this one. M is the midpoint of DC. M is the midpoint, so bang in the middle of all of this length here. Okay. N is the point on AD. Let me just get this straight in my head. So AD, okay, where ND equals X. Okay, so it's just telling me that that length is X. BMN is a right angle triangle. BMN is a right angle triangle. That's the thing that I want. Find an expression in terms of X for the area of triangle BMN. Give your expression in its simplest form. Expression, I know that it will have variables, in this case X in my answer. Okay, there's two ways of doing this. The much more difficult way of doing it is to use Pythagoras to create some right angle triangles here. And then do this squared, add this squared, square rooted to get an expression for this. Then make a right angle triangle here and do this squared, add this squared, square rooted equals this length, then do base times height divided by 2. Okay, the much more straightforward way of doing it is this. If you think about it, I have a square. And taken away from that square is this triangle. Badly drawn triangle, but triangle all the same. This triangle. And finally, what's a good colour that I haven't used? Let's go for purple. This triangle. So if I work out the area of the square and then take away the sum of these three things, then it will leave me with the expression just for the area. Okay. Right, let's work out the area of this triangle first. Right, so that's a right angle triangle. Let's make sure that we put that in. So that's a right angle triangle. I know because this is a square, all of this length is 4x. If all of this length is 4x and I'm taking away x, that leaves me with 3x here, doesn't it? So I know that the length of this is 3x. Well, this is just the length of the square. So this is 4x. Area of triangle. Base times perpendicular height divided by 2. So base times perpendicular height. Then divided by 2. 3 times 4 is 12. X times x is x squared. 12. X squared divided by 2 gives me 6x squared. Right, let's keep doing that for the other triangles as well. So we have this triangle here. Let's work out what we can. Well, I already know that that length is x. Now, if all of this length is 4x, but it tells us that m is the midpoint of it, i.e. halfway along all of this, which is 4x, I know this has to be 2x. Let's work out the area of this. So we have base times perpendicular height divided by 2. Base times perpendicular height divided by 2. X times 2x is 2x squared divided by 2 is just going to mean that the area of that bit is x squared. Final one that we've got to worry about is this triangle here. I know that that bit there is, well, we just said a second ago that that's the midpoint. All of that's 4x, therefore this bit's 2x as well. This is simply the length of the bottom of the square. So this is 4x. Base times perpendicular height divided by 2. Base times perpendicular height divided by 2. Oh, perpendicular height was 2x, sorry. Perpendicular height divided by 2. Right. 4 times 2 is 8. X times x is x squared. 8x squared. Base times height divided by 2 gives me 4x squared. Therefore, the total area of those triangles is going to be, well, I'll just do that. No. So we've got 6x squared. So total area is 6x squared plus x squared plus 4x squared six x squared add 1x squared add another 4x squared is going to give me 11x squared. That's the total area of all of the bits that I don't want. A square, and then I'm taking away the sum of these 3 triangles. What's the area of the square? Let's find out. Can I get to that? Boom. So the area of the square is, I know the length it told us was 4x, wasn't it? So this is 4x. This is 4x. Base times height, it's not a triangle, I'm not going to divide by 2, so we've got 4x times 4x, or 4x all squared. 4x times 4x is going to give me 16x squared. So the area of the square, take away the sum of the triangles, so I've got 16x squared minus 11x squared so 16 lots of x squared, take away 11 lots of x squared is just going to give me 5 lots of x squared. Okay, hopefully that helps. Drop me an email if it doesn't. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.